Welcome to this special edition of the Trans-Pacific Science Council's Outreach Series, where we explore how large-scale reforestation efforts are helping to reduce carbon footprints and restore ecosystems in the Pacific region. The Pacific region, with its unique biodiversity and rich natural resources, is not only a paradise for wildlife, but also a critical battleground in the fight against climate change. One of the most promising strategies to combat the growing environmental challenges in the Pacific is mass reforestation, or the large-scale restoration of forests. As we know, forests act as the lungs of the earth. They absorb carbon dioxide, store carbon in trees and soil, and help regulate the global climate. But over the past century, deforestation has been accelerating across the globe, leading to more carbon in the atmosphere and less biodiversity in our ecosystems. The Pacific Islands are not immune to this phenomenon. Many of the islands have experienced substantial deforestation, driven by agricultural expansion, logging, and urban development. However, hope is on the horizon. Several countries in the Pacific are spearheading large-scale reforestation projects that are not only mitigating the effects of climate change, but also reviving local ecosystems and providing economic benefits to communities. Let's take a look at some of the most successful reforestation initiatives. One of the standout examples comes from Papua New Guinea, where community-led reforestation efforts have become a central pillar of environmental conservation. Papua New Guinea, home to some of the world's most diverse rainforests, has faced extensive deforestation in the last few decades. However, through partnerships between the government, non-governmental organizations, and local communities, vast areas of land are being replanted with native tree species. These projects not only fight carbon emissions, but also restore vital habitats for wildlife like tree kangaroos, parrots, and other endemic species. Another inspiring success story comes from the Solomon Islands, which has been aggressively working to rehabilitate degraded lands. The country is focusing on planting fast-growing indigenous tree species that help in the restoration of soil fertility, prevent erosion, and support local agricultural systems. These reforestation projects are proving essential in not only mitigating climate change, but also improving food security by increasing the productivity of local farms. Meanwhile, in Vanuatu, the government has collaborated with international agencies to initiate a series of coastal reforestation projects aimed at protecting vulnerable shorelines from the impacts of rising sea levels. Mangrove forests, which act as natural barriers against storm surges and erosion, are being restored along the coastlines, providing vital protection for both the environment and local communities. Through these efforts, reforestation is creating a win-win situation. The forests absorb carbon dioxide, helping to reduce the global carbon footprint. At the same time, they are providing sustainable livelihoods, promoting biodiversity, and restoring ecological balance to areas that had been severely impacted by human activity. One of the key benefits of these projects is the involvement of local communities. By working with local farmers, indigenous groups, and coastal populations, reforestation efforts are not just about planting trees, they are about fostering environmental stewardship and creating a lasting impact for generations to come. The projects often involve training local people in sustainable forestry practices, offering economic incentives through ecotourism, and providing resources for communities to benefit from the land without depleting it. Additionally, many of these projects are part of global reforestation goals, contributing to the United Nations Decade on Ecosystem Restoration and other international climate commitments. By participating in global reforestation efforts, the Pacific nations are not only helping to reverse the damage done to their own ecosystems but also playing a key role in the fight against global climate change. But there is still much work to be done. The challenges faced by these islands are significant. Rising sea levels, cyclones, and changing weather patterns all threaten the progress of reforestation efforts. Yet, the collective spirit and resilience of Pacific nations give hope that, with continued support and investment, these efforts will expand and flourish. As we conclude, it's clear that mass reforestation in the Pacific is more than just a green initiative. It's a movement to restore the balance between human development and the natural world. It's a movement to combat climate change, protect biodiversity, and ensure that future generations can live in harmony with the planet.